we've got some pretty good viewer comments though from this past week. Actually, some very good ones. So that's how we're gonna close our little show out. If you watched last week, I believe you'll recall. I don't remember why, but we made some reference to a band with that always had zombies on. Oh, we're talking about band games.
Right, and we remember the name of it after we finished recording.
Yeah. So I think Ivan was the one who said it. And Miklos Fitch also commented and pointed out it's Iron Maiden.
Yeah, I remember being so like, oh, of course it is.
And if you had said metal band, I would have thought of it.
I should have said, I can't believe I didn't say that.
The name of the zombie is Eddie, kind of their mascot. And I should have known because I have been to an Iron Maiden concert.
Oh.
And they had a giant inflatable version of him. I remember. Terrifying experience. But thank you for pointing that out. And we had another cardboard stacker give us another tidbit. This is what we like when people tell us the things we don't know. We're talking about Final Fantasy. You were mentioning the series that combines the different worlds.
Yeah, Descent.
It's Final Fantasy Dissidia. Or Dissidia. I don't know how you say it. I said Disgaea, which is a completely different game. I didn't know what you were talking about. But that is what it is. He's also super excited for Final Fantasy. Hopes the Chocobo game goes well. Hopefully that will lead to Square Enix to put more of these games out.
No, I agree. I think that's the one I'm more excited about.
As they say, they are hugely disappointed with the direction of the TCG because for them, they love the classic series. And when they are focusing more on the 7, 10, and 13, which are the ones they seem to make the most money in the common popular eye, it's a little disappointing for them. So
I think that's a fair thing. And now that I think about it, because the original Final Fantasy, if I recall, there wasn't characters. It was just, Black Mage, Warrior, Thief. What if they actually made a game as you played as them? Make yourself. But you met in the game you met oh look, you found Cloud or something
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
So
the Ghostbusters version, the video game where you're not one of the Ghostbusters. Yeah.
But you're still the Final Fantasy characters. It's just the original.
Unless you're playing based on 8-bit theater, then it could be.
I forgot about them.
A double thing. So we're definitely with you. It'd be great to see all that older stuff come into it as well. We played Speechless, and one of the things that we lamented was the yellow markers that came with it. Well, straight from the source, we heard from Tony from Arcane Wonders, who we actually have met, and we did an interview with him about Onitama, assured us those markers were only because they couldn't get them shipped in time for Gen Con. The final retail release
you know what? I can respect
is
that.
only black markers in the final one.
That's perfect. Especially considering also, remember how we kept, because we passed markers around, you kept traveling from seat to seat.
Yeah, so that's good. Glad to hear that. So you don't have to worry. So that was really our biggest gripe with it. So
they solved it.
That's how good we are. We made that happen. And finally, this was interesting. Again, going back to Final Fantasy and the trading card game. This comes from user I'm done. It's over.
Oh, okay.
Good name. They brought up an interesting point, which I don't know how deep we have time to get into it right now, about Wizards of the Coast and the branding of trading card games, and that they have had their hands in so many that come out here, partially because a lot of the legal stuff is tied up in them. And I tried to look into, I don't know, you might know more than I do. I looked up some of it, but some of it's very ambiguous, that they have a lot of these copyrights on ideas of a collectible card game or trading card game.
Well, I know initially, I forget which is which, but collectible trading card game versus trading card game was brought about because Wizard copyright one of them. So people started, okay, then we'll call ours trading card or whatever the...
Right, but I mean, there definitely are trading card games that aren't through Wizards, but I guess you have to be careful with your wording.
Well, have you read, anytime you read any card game, it's floop your card, exhaust your card, derez your card. You can just see them dancing around, tapping and
Yeah, oh yeah, I mean, that you see in every game for sure. If there's any copyright lawyers out there, talk to us, or any Wizards of the Coast representatives, talk to us, because apparently every week. I'm afraid to bash people anymore because the actual publishers are commenting on our show.
It's honestly, I don't think it's bad. It's just there were and just.
It's interesting. It's very interesting.
They got it before they were, but now they make it's so common to think of it like that. So I wouldn't say it's really a bad thing per se. It's just I think Magic's so big and everyone played it, so that when you think of it, you're like, oh, I'm tapping it.
Right.
So it just becomes like
it's like Googling.
Yeah. And I think it's just that they don't want to lose all their stuff. Like I think Kleenex and Band-Aids were one like that too.
Yeah. Can't blame them. We would love to hear from you guys watching this show, what you think about that. If you have something you want to bring up about Gen Con, about peace in the Middle East, give us your suggestions, your solutions. This is the platform to do it in.
The new Magic set coming out.
Yeah.
Any of the Kickstarters we maybe did talk about or didn't talk about.
Or really, we would love a new subject of discussion, a question just related to board games in general. Leave a comment right here on this video, right here on YouTube. We will read them. We read them all.
Actually, I got a good thing I'd like to know from. What games have you successfully played with your parents?
Good one. Great one. Love that one. Very good one. Unsuccessfully.
Yes, I think you've got some good stories of Sheriff of Nottingham.
Yeah, I do. We'll share them only if you share it. I think we maybe talked about it in the show a while ago, but we'll bring it up again if you have some good comments.